Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my channel. This channel is supported by all these awesome brands. Also, special thanks to the Army Painter for making this video possible. Today we have an unboxing video. Well, it's not really an unboxing. We're going to build this dragon that came with this set, and this will be our entry, my entry, of course, for the Wargamer Games painting competition. So the Army Painter is like having this sort of competition in between painters. I think they invited painters to compete at #Wargamer Games. The idea is to use this plastic miniature that came with the Fanatic Wargamer paint set. And we're going to paint the same miniature, this same plastic miniature. And I think the Army Painter and the Army Painter team will judge, I guess, the best painting. Now, the main rule, of course, of painting this plastic model for the Wargamer Games is to use the Army Painter paints. We can use War Paints Fanatic and, of course, Speed Paints, or even like the really old non-fanatic War Paints. But the idea is simple, just use the Army Painter paints to paint this plastic miniature. Almost a year ago, I started using the Army Painter paints. I bought like a small starter set of speed paints. I also bought the starter set of air paints. And eventually, the Army Painter sponsored me. Eventually, after enjoying painting with speed paints, like even with the speed paints 1.0 before I had those 2.0 versions, I was like really itchy to buy the old war paints because they're on sale. But Adam of the Army Painter told me to like wait for the Fanatics because they're worth the wait. Anyways, fast forward to now, I'm sponsored. I have the complete set of the Speed Paints 2.0 and of course the complete set of the War Paints Fanatic. To this day though, I cannot rank Speed Paints over War Paints Fanatic or War Paints Fanatic over Speed Paints. But I mean, they are two different kinds of paints, and the painting methods that are involved with the actual use of these colors of these paints are totally different. So while I'm building this plastic model, I'm actually undecided how to paint this. I could paint it with speed paints and then highlights with War Paints Fanatic, or totally painted with War Paints Fanatic from black primer and then add some glazes with speed paints. This is my first time to actually build a plastic model from the Army Painter, but I do see sets of paints that has like plastic miniatures included in the sets. Basically, I enjoyed like building this argon miniature, serpent miniature, and as you can see in the video, the fitting is very nice. It's very like flush or perfect, but it doesn't snap. So meaning it's like dry fitting resin or basically dry fitting like plastic, but you could see that the fitting is perfect before you do cement or apply cement and glue on the miniature. The quality of the plastic is very nice. It has some flex to it, but at the same time, it seems very durable. So the plastic is not brittle. You could see that it's kind of like difficult to break the nails and the claws, no nails, but the claws and the fangs of this serpent miniature because the material seems very good. And of course, the material, since it's kind of hard but not brittle, it holds very nice details. And since the miniature is plastic, cement melts the mold lines and of course kind of fills the gaps if you flood it with cement because it will melt and it will kind of like fill the thin gaps, the small gaps in between the different parts of the miniature. Now for bigger pieces, bigger parts of the miniature like the wings, I decided to use a little bit of super glue. The super glue will instantly like hold the piece or the part, and then once the super glue is dry, I could then apply cement around the edges to fill in the gaps and make it like seamless with the body of the serpent. Use super glue to a minimum because cement is stronger than the super glue. Cement kind of melts all of the parts together, so it has a stronger bond. And then you just need the super glue to hold the piece together, especially the big pieces like the wings. And then you melt the gaps with cement. Now, before I reveal, a huge thanks to all my patrons at Patreon and of course, the Army Painter for making this video possible. Now you're left with a few extra parts like fumes or whatsoever, and then you also get a tongue. But I decided to use like the biggest flame coming out of the mouth, which should be super fun to paint as like an OSL effect. The details of the miniature is very nice. It's very sharp or crisp, and they have negative spaces, which is great for any painter because the negative spaces or the blank spaces are like the spaces that we enjoy the most because you could like apply your own rendition to the wing parts, to the open spaces so that you could paint textures, basically give it your own version. If it's too detailed, like the painter won't be left with anything to do with the miniature. Like just applying a base color and washes will do. With this one, it has the perfect balance of detail and negative space. Lastly, I love the size of the miniature, especially for competition. It's big enough for details, but not too big you'll get tired of painting the model. I just need to prime this and I'm ready for the Wargamer Games painting competition. That's it, Pansit. I hope you like this video. Do like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. Until next video, guys. Bye! If you like this video, you might like these other Army Painter videos.